All right, so in the next couple of videos, I'm gonna make a little intro scene here where the player, as soon as the game starts, we're gonna fade in and there's gonna be a conversation between like the player, maybe the zombie, we'll see, and then this construction guy and this jogger lady who are going to let the player into the gate. Now, what I'm not gonna do is go into like how to make kind of like a fancy cutscene where we could have the player like actually running inside of the gate and the gate animated close. I think what I would use for that would be something called timeline, which is like a Unity feature. But what I am going to go into is how to use some basic cinematography and some basic timing and maybe even an animation that doesn't involve characters like doing complicated movements. So anyhow, I've got this conversation that I made. It's just called game intro, and I think so. Like, what it does is it has like this character says get in quick, and so this conversation involves three people: the player, the jogger, and the construction guy whose name is Pete. So it's Pete, Jody, and player. So the construction guy says get in quick, and then Jody over here, I just selected her. Even though you can only pick two people in your conversation, like if you click on the background, you can override that in this node by picking any character. So then Jody says hurry up, shut the gate, and then when you get in, the Pete will tell you, oh, you made it, and then the player gets a chance to respond. So that's the kind of overview. First thing I want to do is set it up so that just plays right off the bat, which is pretty easy. I think what I'm going to do to make things clear is I'm just going to make an empty game object. So I right clicked on the level and hit create empty, and I'm just going to rename this game object like starting sequence, and I'm going to add a component. I'm going to add the dialogue system trigger. So if you start typing dialogue system trigger, you should see it. It's got the green widget thing here. And I'm going to change the trigger. Instead of on use, like all of our NPCs and our item are on use, this one is going to be on start. So basically, as soon as the game starts, it's going to fire off. And right now, the first thing I'm going to do is just click add action, and I'm going to have it start a conversation. And the conversation I'm going to have it start is going to be game intro. That's what this thing is called. So if I hit play, you will notice it. You'll notice it doing its thing. So let's see. And you can see right away, like, it works, but it's problematic because, like, I'm not seeing who's talking. While we're at it, it might be a good idea actually to make sure that your display settings in your game window when it's running, you might want to make sure you got it set to 16 by 9, just so that you get a kind of accurate idea of what your camera can see. Because if you have it on like free mode or whatever it's called, I don't even remember what that option, free aspect, you might be able to have like some goofy vantage point that gives you a misleading idea of what is actually visible, because what's visible is one of the main problems that I have to fix here. All right, so the good news is it was really easy to get something to start as soon as the game starts. The bad news is it doesn't look right at all. In order to start making it better, the first thing I'm gonna introduce this idea of the sequencer. And if the sequencer is a feature built into dialogue system, and if you were to go to the dialogue system documentation, you can find this thing that says cutscene sequences, and it's basically there's a lot of write up here, and there's also some video tutorials, which I think I have that. I might have that link handy too, or I might not. But if you go to the Dialogue System website, you can find the video tutorials, and there's some that cover this too. But basically, these are going to allow us to kind of write some scripting markup that kind of creates various functionality that controls how our actors and camera are behaving for each dialogue node. And the big thing that's really useful, I think, here, once you kind of get used to the basics, which we'll cover in the video, is the script reference, the sequencer command reference, rather. So it's kind of awkward to find. You expand cutscene sequences, you go all the way down, and then you see this thing that says sequencer command reference. And this kind of gives you an idea of all the things you can do. And the one I want to look at first, because I think it's an easy introduction, is this one that's called fade. So it, I think, makes sense to kind of add this fade in transition as soon as our game starts. So, in addition to starting this conversation, I can have our dialogue system trigger play a sequence. So I'm just going to go into add action, and I'm going to choose play sequence. And there's like a little wizard for adding sequences too. Sometimes it doesn't like display correctly for me, so we'll see what happens. But there's some like shortcuts here. If you don't see what you're looking for, you can go to all sequencer commands, and that's kind of like the script reference too. But you pretty much need that reference to understand how to use these things. So for any that you might be tempted to use, like, yeah, I've got it started, but I need to understand like what parameters to put in inside of this parenthesis. So I typed in fade, open parenthesis. If I want to understand how to use that fade, I need to look it up in the script reference here. And I can see that the first parameter is whether I should fade in or out. And then the parameters are separated by commas. So it's kind of hard to see, but then the next parameter, this bullet list makes it a little easier, I guess. The second parameter is duration. How long should the fade take? And then the last parameter is color. So you could do something like fade to a color that's not black. But you can see the ones that have defaults are optional. And that means if you don't supply that parameter, it will use the default. So if I just typed fade and then in parentheses, it would fade in over 1 second. So if I go over to my game again, and I type fade, and I want it to be in, and I know it take a little longer because 1 second's pretty fast. And basically, you don't have to have a semicolon if you only have one item in the sequence here, but it's good practice, I guess. As soon as you have two things that you want to have happen, you have to have the semicolon after the first one. So I might just get in the habit of putting the semicolon after all of my sequences. And there's even this nifty check thing here, which will tell you if you did it wrong. It turns red if there's a problem, in theory. So now if I hit play, I should see it fade in addition to starting that conversation. And it's kind of weird, like, I actually asked the developer about this, because if you notice that, it kind of looks like it takes a minute before you start noticing the fade. If you were to make a build, which is like how you distribute your game, I think it will look more correct. So I'm not going to worry about it just now, but that is the first sequence we're going to learn about, is the fade in. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and then in the next one we'll start learning about some of the cinematography sequence commands we could use.